Hi, in this session, I will explain two stored procedures. So, how to drop all the tables from a database schema and how to drop all views from a database schema. So, first of all, you may get a doubt why there is a need to drop all the tables or views from a database schema. Suppose I have created some hundreds of tables or some tens of tables while doing the development, but later I have realized the naming, I want to change the naming convention of all the tables or whatever the reason. So my requirement is to drop all the tables and views present in a database schema. So suppose if there is large number of tables and views like hundreds and thousands, so how to drop all of them at a time? If you want to do it manually, so you have to prepare 1,000 commands to drop the tables and views and execute one by one, which is a difficult task and it may take time. Suppose if you automate that process by using a single command, by using a single procedure call, you can drop all the tables and views, right? So let's see how it goes. And you may one more get. So instead of dropping all the tables and views from that schema, so you can directly drop that schema. But remember, in dev environment or test environment, uh, the developer role may have table level access but not database and schema level access. That means you will have access to create and drop the tables, but you will not have access to drop the schemas and databases. So in that scenario, this procedure is very useful. So I have seen this requirement in my career. That's why I have prepared a procedure for this as well. Okay, so let's see how it goes. So I'm creating a procedure with the name sp underscore drop schema tables. And my procedure has two arguments, the database name and the schema name, where all the tables should be dropped. Okay. So here I am declaring a cursor variable. So it is very similar to the previous stored procedure what I have explained. Okay. So here I am declaring a cursor variable with the name cur underscore table list. So this cursor will contain the list of tables to be dropped. So how to get the list of tables from this database schema? Okay, so I have already explained. So we will have all those details in the information schema of the database. Okay, so I am selecting the list of tables from the information schema of the given database and schema. Okay, so select distinct table name from the table of. Okay, I will pass this information schema at the runtime. Okay, because I have to get this database name at the runtime, right? So after getting this database name, I'll put the information schema and we'll get list of tables. Okay. Also my requirement is I have to drop all the tables from this schema, whatever I am passing through the procedure call. Okay. So my cursor query is like this. Okay. Select distinct table name from the information schema where the table schema equals to. So this schema also I'll pass at the runtime. So I'll supply a value for this bind variable at the runtime. And table type equals to base table. I already told, right? So we will have both tables and views present in the information schema tables view. So this is the information schema tables view. So here we'll have both objects, tables and schemas. So if we want to distinguish, so what is the table and what is the view? So here we have to pass table type equals to base table. If it is a base table, then it is a table. If it is a view, then it's a view object. Okay, so I have declared a cursor variable with this query, and I am declaring some more variables of varchar type, like to the return string. So whatever finally I want to return, so that return string and the table name, fully qualified table name, and the drop query. Okay, so here if you see in the first statement, I am checking one condition, I am validating one thing. So what is that? Suppose in real time what we will be doing, so we'll be switching between schemas, we'll be switching between databases. So we'll suppose our account is holding all the development database, testing database, and production database. And suppose if you have selected a production database here and you run that schema, so what will happen? if you have access to that role, all the tables will be dropped, which is very dangerous, right? So you cannot delete any objects in the production schema. So but you can do in development when there is a requirement. So that's why I'm putting a condition. Okay, I'm putting a validation here. So mostly in real time, the production database will contain a word, something like this: prod underscore something, or something underscore prod, or in some companies they will use simply PRD instead of prod. They will simply use PRD. So if your database name, okay, so if your database name contains any word like this in the database name, okay, PRD or prod, then just return a warning. So don't drop the tables and views. Just return a warning saying, warning, you are running this procedure in the production database. Okay. So and it will not execute, it will not drop all the tables. Just simply it will throw a warning. So this check is mandatory, right? That's why I'm by using a if condition, I'm checking this. If my database name is like, if it contains a word like prod or PRD, then don't drop the tables, just throw a warning. Otherwise, so if it is not a production environment, then so as I explained in the previous procedure, so we have to open the cursor variable. So we have to open that cursor by using this fully qualified table name. So what is the fully qualified table name? Database name. So whatever we are supplying in the procedure call, okay, and information schema dot tables. So from this view, I need to fetch the list of tables to be dropped. Okay, and this is the schema where I need to drop all the tables. Okay, so I have opened this cursor and I have to drop table by table. That means row by row processing. So I'm using a for loop, cursor based for loop. For this is a variable, iteration variable for table name in the current table list. So what is the table list? So if you see here in the cursor definition, so the list of tables to be deleted, that is present in the current table list variable, cursor variable. So for table in the current table list, do okay. So assign a table name. So whatever you are fetching from here, that goes to the table name, and you have to prepare a fully qualified table name, right? Okay, so how to prepare a fully qualified table name? The database, whatever we are supplying at the runtime as an argument, dot the schema name. This is also a argument, so we can supply at the time of calling this procedure, and the table name. So if you see what is the table name, so this comes from this table list, current cursor table list. Okay, so it will prepare a query something like this. Okay, drop query equals to drop table name and then fully qualified table name. So how to drop a table in any database schema? So drop table and the fully qualified table name. So I am preparing that query and storing that into a drop query of varchar type or string type. Okay, and then I am executing the query. So when I execute this, okay, so it will run this query and it will drop the table. Suppose if we have some 10 tables, okay, first table name is employees. Okay, so it will drop the table, drop table employees, and it will go to the next table, so that this loop will be repeated until it drops all the tables present in this cursor variable. So once this is completed, it will come out of this for loop, and then it will close the cursor variable, cursor. It will close the cursor, and it will finally return. So all tables dropped successfully. Okay, so if you see here return string, it is if something like if we attempt to drop the tables from a production database, it will say, it will throw warning. Otherwise, it will, if it is not a production environment, so it will drop all the tables and then it will throw a message. It will return a message. All tables dropped successfully. Okay, so and then I'm returning this at the end. Okay, so this is the procedure. And how to call this procedure? Simply by using call statement. Call the procedure, fully qualified procedure name, and this is the database and schema where I need to drop all the tables. Okay, so this is the procedure for dropping tables. So for dropping views also the same procedure. Okay, only change here is so the table type should be a view. Okay, if I want to drop all the tables, so if you see here the table type is base table, and if I want to drop all the views, then the table type is views. Remaining everything is very same. Just I renamed the variable names instead of table name. Okay, I'm mentioning view name here. So everything is same. Okay, so this is how you can drop tables and all views from a database schema. So let's see this. Okay, I'm just copying this and pasting it in Snowflake. Okay, so if you see in this database, I don't have so where I'm creating dev emp procs. So if you see under procedures, I have only one 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 procedure. So now I am creating this procedure. Okay, I'll execute this procedure. So before that, if you see, okay, I am trying to create drop the tables from HR data schema. So if you see HR data, so I have some 7 tables and 7 views, corresponding 7 views. So I want to drop all the tables now. So let's execute this command. Okay, call this procedure. Okay, it is saying all tables dropped successfully. So just refresh here and you can see there is no tables, so only views. So if I want to drop these views as well, okay, so how to do? Come here, copy this, okay, create this procedure and execute this procedure. Okay, all views dropped successfully. So if you want to check, just come and refresh here. So now there are no objects in this database at all. So all the tables and views dropped successfully. So this is very simple, right? Just one time you are creating a procedure and you can use it. So company wide you can use it. Just you have to supply the database name and schema name. So this is a uh, reusable procedure. You can apply in any company or in any project, right? So based on this requirement, you can do modifications to this script and you can use it. Okay, thank you.